Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 19th to the 28th of February. We're going to be talking about career/money, any sort of money situation you have going on, as well as relationship. I'm going to timestamp in the description box below for relationship. So we have a lot going on these couple of weeks. I just want to mention we have Venus and Mars are going to be squaring off from the 19th to the 28th. And that can definitely be creating some tension for you, having to do with relationship and finance. We have Mercury stationary from the 20th to the 21st, depending on where you live. So not a good energy to try to negotiate anything on those days if you could avoid it, or to talk about anything really important, because it can be definitely stubborn energy, glitches in communication. But on the 22nd, we finally have Mercury going direct, which is really, really nice. So we just want a couple of, like, I don't know, 7 or 10 days or so to allow him to stretch his legs and come out of retrograde in the post shadow. Mars and Pluto were trining on from the 23rd to the 26th. So remember that 23rd to the 26th, great for healing, any sort of positive transformation, really great for investments, really great for just raising energy levels, accomplishments, and really feeling very in your power. So I very much like that going on. Now, the other two things I wanted to mention, on the 25th, we have Venus entering Pisces. So that's going to be happening for you guys. That's going to be, Pisces is going to be going, Venus rather, is going to be going from your 6th house, right, where it's hanging out with Saturn and Jupiter and everybody else, Mercury, and it's going to be going into your 7th house. So we have Venus going into your 7th house of partnerships, and then we're going to have that the Sun is going to be going into Pisces. Well, the Sun will already be in Pisces, so we're going to have the Sun and Venus in your 7th house of partnerships. So that's really good. But the most important thing we have to mention for you guys is February 27th, full moon in Virgo. So something in work, diet, health, employees, or routine is coming to an end. A full moon occurs in Virgo, and the Sun in Pisces forms an opposition to the moon in Virgo. So this full moon, time of culmination, right? And the promise of a fulfillment from something that started in that new moon. So it's an emotional time, definitely a time of romance, fertilization, relationships, networking, growing things, realizing things. So it's going to be a very strong energy for you guys, because it's happening with you. Because with Virgo, Pisces, right, that axis, because you're ascendant descendant with Pisces, it's the service axis. So this full moon presses us to find a balance between day-to-day functions and routines, physical health, the need for order, which is very Virgo, and vision and spiritual health and disorder and the infinite, right? That's all about Pisces. So Virgo rules the tools and the techniques that we use to deal with the day-to-day, but Pisces rules the tools that we use to deal with our spiritual selves. So some sort of crisis, which can be a crisis of consciousness or sudden awareness of a lack in our lives, provides us with a golden opportunity here to really explore our emotional needs within the context of, for you guys, the 1st house of self. So you're going to just, and that's just, you know, maybe realizing that you want to make big changes within yourself, your physical appearance, how you handle things, your total perspective. The house of self is sort of, it's really a little bit of everything, right? There's a very, trying to strike the balance kind of energy between work and service, practicality and practicality, criticism and acceptance kind of thing. Now with the moon full, right, and very bright in the sky, this symbolic illumination occurs in our own lives in this house of self. So you're going to be realizing things that you're going to want to express. Just make sure you temper how you express them, right? You want to make sure that you don't come out too aggressively. And we're not even going to mean to do it, but it's like over the next 2 weeks, we're going to discover what this means for us, right? We're going to be experiencing things, and we're going to be figuring out what it actually means for us. And I'm talking about this before we even go into career, because I feel like it's your 1st house of self. It's going to be impacting you know, more than one area of your life for many of you. So you're going to have this need to express ultimately what it is that you're feeling. Just make sure you exercise some care when you do so, because you're not going to be 100% rational in your understanding of something yet, because you're not meant to. It's a very eye-opening time though for like work habits, health habits, routines, anything like that. Lots of energy coming from your intuition. I like that. I also like that it's going to be harmonizing with Uranus, which tells me that there's going to be easier acceptance of change and progress now. So you and the other mutable signs, so it's, you know, you guys, Gemini, Sag, and Pisces, are going to be feeling it the most significantly, especially those of you born at where you have points approximately like 5 to 13 degrees. Okay. Cancer. Feeling. So you're going to be very focused on your feelings. We have Scorpio. We have the 6th house, which that's so funny. In the astro dice, the 6th house is coming out a lot, and we do have the full moon energy in Virgo, and you guys are the landlord of the 6th house. And then we have Mercury. Mercury does rule the 6th house, so a lot of communication about what's necessary to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. Absolutely, for you guys. There's a lot about dealing with the past. We have the Scorpio energy, so there's this idea, this element of dealing with the past. Something from the past is going to be very active in your consciousness, for sure. Now, when we're talking about money here, this could be your career or any sort of financial circumstance that you're involved in, a lawsuit, divorce settlement, alimony, child support, any sort of insurance payout, you know, stock market, whatever, anything like that. But I feel like there was a battle of the wills here with the 5 of Wands is what this tells me, right? Coming into this energy, this is a Saturn in Leo, so it's about competition, battle of the wills. Definitely be like this experiencing a lack of agreement, lots of strong opinions, a fight just to be heard, you know, that kind of thing, where it's just feeling very frustrated because you aren't being heard, having to do with something either within the workplace or within some sort of situation that involves money. This could have to do with the purchase of a home, the selling of a home, anything like that. Current situation we have here is the Queen of Coins. So we have this working with the Lover's energy. So let's talk about the Queen of Coins first. If this is a person that you're dealing with, this energy is very reliable and supportive and very generous, and is very understanding about what's needed to make this situation work. Now, if this is an influence, this could definitely be money coming into those of you who, particularly those of you who are married, right? Because this is very much a connection energy or coupled, but this also indicates good financial management, really taking care of the whole package here, which I really like, because this is such a Virgo thing. You're taking care of your body and your finances here. Right now, this is at least where your consciousness is. You want to take care of your body. You wanting to take care of your health, right? Of course, because you have Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury, and everybody's hanging out in that 6th house of health. But it also is your day-to-day experience as well as your day-to-day work environment. So you focus on both of those things. We have the Lover's energy, so you need to be really honest about something that is not perfect, and you need to make a decision if you're going to be able to work it out. Right? That really is with the Lover's energy. You have choices, right? And one of the choices may seem easier, but look closer to make sure that it's not the best thing, if it is the best thing in the long run for you. You don't want to make it all about money. You don't want to make it all about that bottom line. You want to make sure that you're very much enjoying what it is that you're doing. And I feel like that's why Cancer came up, right, with the Astro card, because Cancer can do whatever it wants, but Cancer can't be happy in everything. Cancer has to feel very at home and very comfortable and very supported in something. And I feel like that's kind of like where you're at, right? I mean, you really are. And you may be very much wanting to work from home. Cancer represents home, so it may definitely be either working from home, doing something from home, generating some sort of new revenue from home. Now we have the crowning energy. We have the 2 of Cups. So the 2 of Cups is very mutually supportive energy here. So you might be dealing with a partnership, or this can also indicate a conversation having to do with business, where you're dealing with other people, where there's any kind of negotiation going really, really well. So if things have been very difficult, harmony returns. This is a very nurturing relationship, giving each other what it is that you need, all the way down to something as basic as, like, let's say you're working somewhere and you need to change your hours, or you want to maybe start working from home and not in the office, or you throwing feelers out there and you having really good conversations with people. Really, it's kind of like this meeting of the minds, which is nice. And the foundation is the 10 of Cups, which is fabulous. I mean, this is just a great time for partnerships. What you've been working on will finally come together in all areas. So this is sort of a beautiful energy to get, considering that you have the full moon in you, right? Because I was talking about that self energy. Because this is 10 of Cups is just very like communication, romance, business, family. It's all kind of coming together. So I do feel like either an energy of you guys working from home, or there being this need for, and I mean, this almost sounds silly, but it's like a need for money for your family, which doesn't everybody have that? But that's coming through very strong for me. Foundation, this idea of foundation is coming through very strong for me. But I feel almost like, I don't know, Virgo, I feel like this 5 of Wands might have even been internal, where you were just sort of like fighting with yourself. Battle of your own wills, where you couldn't agree with yourself about, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? I just really don't know. Really not being able to tell. So some of you can experience it like that. Others of you, you're having an actual argument with somebody, or you were anyway. So where are you now, right? We have the 5 of Coins right now. This is Mercury and Taurus energy. So test of resources. There could be some sort of financial issues at play right now, or a fear of financial issues. So you want to consider a new option that's going to help you to see a different way forward. Now, this can show a fear of losing security of your home, which makes sense to me, right? We have that Cancer energy. Or just the pain in something like you feeling not connected or something not working out. That level of disappointment. But there are these other options here. Now, we have an external energy, external to you, that's impacting you, is the 3 of Coins, which I really like this energy. It's Mars and Capricorn. So it's about collaborating and success and reward and allowing your talents to shine. But this does indicate a successful launch, for sure. Now, those of you that are spending your money on home improvements or the sale, you just want to be careful of others around you. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but being jealous of positive experiences in your life right now, because you may be experiencing some sort of like detractors in your life because of something that's coming into you externally. So if that resonates with you, just remember, detractors can only make you stronger. Don't let that get to you. But it does look like you're having a challenge leaving something, because this is a challenge for you, the 8 of Cups. And so this really is about, first of all, being very emotionally intelligent, right? Not that you're not, but you're feeling something isn't right, but it's time to move on. And so you're having a hard time leaving something is what this tells me. You're having a hard time leaving something. So maybe you're selling a home, or maybe it's the end of a marriage, or you're having a hard time leaving that job, or you're having a hard time saying once and for all, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's like not going to be part of my repertoire anymore. I'm not, you might be challenged with that. We have the near future. We have the Knight of Coins, Leo and Virgo energy. This is increasing prosperity, guys, financial growth, good investments regarding any business venture or with a partner, increase in money or connection is coming in. But you're going to have to work harder than you are right now. That's the thing. Like whatever you're doing now, you're going to have to work a lot harder in order for it to end up being very stable and secure, which is okay. I mean, that's, you guys are all about that, which is good. Now we have as the final outcome energy, we have the 7 of Swords. Very interesting. 7 of Swords energy. This could be somebody maybe trying to steal something from you, literal or metaphorical. This can indicate dishonesty, dealing with somebody who's immoral, somebody who's trying to run away from responsibility or what they've promised. This could also indicate a person who's overstepping their boundaries or who's really selfish. Right? And you need your instincts and your wits to figure out the real truth of a situation. So you might need to play them at their own game to find out what you need to know about the situation, having to do with maybe that lawsuit or whatever that financial agreement is. This could also, obviously, if it has to do with divorce or any sort of settlement of money, having to do with maybe children, you know, anything like that. Watch that energy. Let's see what we have here. Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is anxiety. Overwhelm, worry, trouble sleeping, depression. Not responding well to external stress because your way out of something is really not clear to you. So, you know, this clarifying the Seven of Swords, Virgo, could just simply be you feel really trapped in something. You can't see your way out. It's like you're in some sort of, whether it's a job, an agreement, some sort of circumstance, and you just can't see your way. You can't see your way forward, because this is all, Seven of Swords is also Moon and Aquarius energy, which is why sometimes it resonates with me as a mask wearing energy. You know, where you're feeling one thing on the inside, but externally you're doing what you have to do. But this is, it's creating anxiety for you. The Queen of Cups. Let's just pull a couple. Yeah. So we have clarifying the Nine of Swords energy. We do have the Strength card. So you might be dealing with tensions at work due to ego, right? But can be resolved through empathy, right? Somebody might need their ego stroked, or you might be dealing with people who are just very high in their ego. It just makes you feel really uncomfortable. So that's going to be for some of you. Others of you, you may not like what's being asked of you or what's expected of you because of something with your ego, right? But this would be resolved by being very empathetic with yourself. You have to be very honest with yourself right now, Virgo, about what it is that you really want. Not that you want, what you need to feel really secure in something, right? That's the Queen of Cups, is Gemini and Cancer energy in astrology. So it's having that important conversation. So some of you may literally be having a conversation about a home, selling of a home, purchasing of a home, something to do with finances around the home, an extension, or who's paying for what, anything like that. It could be that, or it could just be the metaphorical home of what it is that you need. And you kind of going all like swords like here. The ruler, you know, the King of Swords energy is really about, I mean, it's a Capricorn and Aquarius energy. It's just, but it's air. It's air, and it's communication, and it's truth. It's a very ambitious energy that's relying totally on logic. So I feel like you're very ambitious, and you're going to stick with the facts of something, and you're not going to allow your emotions to inflect anything. You're focusing on your mind rather than your heart in a situation to take charge of circumstances. So you might be feeling a certain way regarding some sort of something going on with your work, or a decision that you need to make moving forward, especially with the Cancer energy. Can be a lot of emotions here, but at the end of the day, you're going to ask a lot of questions with the Scorpio energy. You're going to do your due diligence. You're going to do your research. You're going to communicate, but you're going to stay very pragmatic. And that really is the advice here of the cards, is to go that way. Go air. Don't go cups. Go air. You know, it's fine to acknowledge what it is that you're feeling and what it is that you need, but don't allow those emotions, you know, what the cards are saying with the King of Cups, the King of Swords, rather, clarifying that. Don't allow that to drive your decisions moving forward. Just pull a Wisdom of the Oracle for that. Never-ending story, new life, a leg up. Good. I'm going to pull one more. Time to go. Yeah. I mean, we have never-ending story. We have new life and a leg out, and it's being bookended by time to go and never-ending story. So I feel like you're in this situation. You're sort of in the cyclical patterning, having to do with either some sort of situation regarding any sort of lawsuit, divorce, anything like that, any sort of like circumstance like that, or a situation within your career, however it is that you make your money. And it always ends up sort of being the same thing. You want to make the change, but then like Monday turns into Tuesday, turns into Wednesday, and those changes are never being had. But you know, there's this new life here. You just need a little bit of help getting out of it. You need a little bit of a leg up. Let's see what we Orphaned. You feel very alone right now, sort of like on your own. We have a thinker. We have regeneration. Well, listen, that's what it takes sometimes. Not for nothing. Yeah. You had hopes and ideas and dreams and that were going in one direction that perhaps are not going the way that you actually thought they were going to go. But all is not lost. This looks like really good. We have this new life. We have this leg up. You're getting whatever help you need. I love the thinker energy. So awesome for a Virgo energy to get, because you guys are so pensive. You guys are the hermit, right? Regeneration. So beautiful. Something has to end in order for something else to begin. So some of you might be changing career paths. Some of you may be taking a different strategy to that lawsuit. Some of you may be just within your own sense of self coming to terms with something that has to do with finances. There are so many different things we could be talking about. If it's not like the finalization of a lawsuit, maybe it's like an inheritance and you're dealing with old feelings having to do with that, or, you know, it could be a bunch of things. But the idea here is the final call here is regeneration. So it does seem like you're going to end up getting whatever it is that you need to move forward to fuel your life. And you are going to be getting some really good help doing that, which with Saturn in your 6th house, it's all about doing the homework for the next 2 years, doing the homework, doing the homework, doing the homework. And I feel like that's going to end up seriously paying off for you, which is really quite nice. Okay, so let's go to relationship. What Virgo needs to know for relationship. This is general reading, guys. I'm not going to be able to get everybody this time around. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have coming into this energy, we have the Empress. So the Empress, she's the mother of the tarot. It's all about growth. So if you're single, this indicates a great time to begin a relationship. If you're in a relationship, this is a great time for growth and harmony and figuring stuff out, what's going on in this next cycle. Just move these over here so we can have girl talk, seduction, not enough. Healthy choices. Okay, that's interesting. So we have from the Empress, we're going into the Fool energy. So the Fool is a new relationship for those of you who are single, or a new approach, or a new start or approach. If you guys have been together, doing things differently than you've been doing things up to this point. It is about going with the flow. But interestingly, it's being crossed by the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is about feeling like, I'm not sure if I belong in this. Eight of Swords, not sure. It's not sure, right? Restriction, self-imposed limitation. Feeling very trapped, limited, right? And it's the kind of thing where you feel trapped and you're thinking things are never going to improve. So then that ends up creating anxiety, which can end up creating challenges in how you're living your day-to-day and how you end up showing up in the relationship. A lot of you might be actually getting over some past hurts that maybe you talked about in the Empress energy with the and the Fool. These are two powerful major arcanas, but maybe you're not as over the past as you thought you were, or maybe that thing is still deeply bothering you, whatever it is. But it is this, even it's minor arcana, but it's one where it's like you're questioning whether you actually belong in it anymore, right? And the crowning energy is the Five of Swords, and again, this is a Jupiter and Leo in Venus and Aquarius energy, I'm sorry. So this is a clash of desires and reality here. There's a lot of tension going on, conflict, right? That you're not going to win, right? So here it's always better to just kind of walk away with grace, as I always say, and just deal with your anger and your disappointment, because the louder you yell, they're not going to hear you. It's like a frustrating energy. How do I explain this? Because it's like, when you're in a situation and it doesn't have to be as hard as it is, and it's so starkingly obvious to you, but it's not to anybody else or your partner. Let's keep it within the realm of the relationship. And it's like they're making things harder than they have to be, but you can't mitigate that. You can only control how you perceive something. But this issue that you're arguing about is really not your issue, Virgo. And I'm not saying this because I'm speaking to you. I'm saying that because this is the energy of the card. It's like the main issue is coming from their end. Maybe their insecurity, their vulnerability, there's something, there may be commitment issue, maybe they're not as ready as they thought. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for each of you. But there's no sense in arguing about that. It's like it's done. Nobody's going to change anybody's mind. And then we have the Two of Wands energy. Now, this is making plans and moving forward. This can indicate partnership. This can indicate a new romantic partnership, possibly through work or friends. So for those of you, this is very interesting because it's like a new approach moving forward after feeling this anxiety, but after having this conversation about growing the relationship in a certain way, at the end of the day, you didn't feel like it was the right thing for you. Could be because of messages being sent by them from this Five of Swords energy. And then you meeting somebody. I mean, we have the Ace of Pentacles here as you right now. So this is like contains all the earth signs. So some of you just may be like totally focused on just working. Right, but this is auspicious for every area of your life, for happiness and contentment, for sure. But it can indicate you meeting a new mental, physical, or emotional connection as well with the Ace. Because that's what Pentacles are in relationship reads. But one or the other, or a little bit of both, you're really focused on work. Because the Two of Wands, you could be meeting somebody through work. There's some sort of energy through work. And then we have this, the Queen of Wands is external to you, that's impacting you, right? So the Queen of Wands, great energy. I mean, this is very stepping into your power kind of energy, Pisces and Aries. You might be meeting somebody like this, you know, somebody who knows how to communicate, who's really self-aware, knows how to focus on the right things in relationship, is very passionate, and just beautiful. As a general energy, this is making things happen for yourself, right? All of your relationships in your life end up feeling energized as a result of this influence, and you having the energy to make things happen for yourself. So I have to tell you, because of that and the Queen of Swords does indicate going it alone for a bit. I do have to say, it's like the single parent kind of energy, or single, being on your own, really working on how to be very self-sufficient and focusing on the truth of a situation, you know, very motivated to find the truth and the psychological motivation of who you're dealing with, right? She's very strong, she's very experienced, doesn't have to be a female though, obviously this could be male, tarot doesn't care about gender. But this is about being determined and standing strong. And this is where you're having a hard time, though. You want to. In theory, you know how to say the words to yourself, but you're having a really hard time moving past something here. Which is interesting, because then we have the High Priestess energy. And the High Priestess it's associated with the moon. And the moon is always kind of about this. Well, first of all, this is wisdom and intuition, right? So now, if you're single right now, this can indicate being single right now, or you and your partner keeping your life secret from other people in your life, where you're really very secretive about what it is that you're doing right now, or you're very single, or you're with somebody and you have a lot of plans going on in your head that you're really not discussing with anybody. But it's not for no reason, right? Because of its connection to the moon, you may be feeling really confused and disappointed because you feel let down by something. And there's this lack of trust that the relationship is going to work, that ends up leading you to make a decision in the relationship. But then we have, as the final outcome energy, we have the Magician, which is beautiful. I mean, you know, this is communication being fantastic, and any issues or problems can be resolved through a deeper understanding of each other's needs, you know. And there could be confusion here, right? Because it is Mercury, and we're dealing with a lot of mental, like frenetic mental energy. But it is about being able to crystallize something through communication that's going to end up improving the health of the situation. So I'm like, how did we get from the High Priestess to the Magician? The Ace of Cups, clarified by the Chariot. And we have the Strength energy, the Three of Swords. Interesting, because we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a new relationship or very strong love and support right now. But the thing is, we're moving away from toxicity here with the Chariot. The Chariot is all about what's toxic here. Something is expedited here, right? And so the fact that we have the Three of Swords here right next to it. Let me just pull one more. And this came with it. So we have the World. So we have the Three of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. So I do see something being able to be worked out here. I do have to tell you. It might take a minute, but I see it happening. And I'm going to tell you why. The Chariot is, it's an energy that things are going to be expedited. We always have to, to see how the energy is going to end up inflecting the situation, we have to look at the cards around it. So we have a lot of positive energies here. We do have the Three of Swords, which shows me that the lights are going to come on, some sort of truth is going to come out. But we have this Ace of Cups, which incites a real loving, supportive, kind of a new cycle. We have the Six of Wands, which indicates success. And then we have the World, which indicates a lesson learned. And so I feel like some things are going to be learned and things are going to be moved forward very, very quickly here. We have this working with the Strength energy. So the Strength is Leo. And so if your relationship has been tested, things are soon going to improve. There's a need for balance here, though. You know, and you want to make sure that you don't allow the physical attraction that you guys feel to each other to serve as a mask to the deeper issues that need to be addressed here. Somebody's ego might need to be stroked, but we have clarifying this energy as far as what was tested was this idea that somebody felt betrayed. Now, Three of Swords does not have to be cheating. It doesn't. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. I always say there are many ways we can hurt ourselves. So this could be heartbreak, the pain of a truth, betrayal. This could even just be depression. But the clouds of doubt are cleared, and all you could do is face the reality, and the confusion is gone, right? And you're now in a position to be given to move on from the pain or the shock or the, you know, whatever you're feeling as a result of this situation, to do some really good healing, which is really, really good. We have working here with the oracles, girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Why are you doing that, or why was that going on? Is because somebody messed up big time. We have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. It could be one of those or, you know, all of them. But it could just be this idea of just not being very responsible within the relationship. I am too self-absorbed to be who and what you want, what you need. Not enough, frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues. The mask has fallen off. So somebody feels like they're just not enough. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. I miss the peace I used to feel with you before all of this. So it does seem like there is a lot of pain that's going on here, but it does seem ultimately like you guys are going to be able to work it out. Now, the pain, the betrayal could come from lack of communication, unhealthy communication, unhealthy promises is what I'm getting. But something that put you in this space where it's like, I don't know, is this really even what I want? You know? Being very sort of in that space and really honestly not knowing the answer while you were in it. Very interesting. Interesting energy. Mending. You know, and you know why this makes sense to me too? Because you're going to have the Sun and Venus hanging out in your 7th house of partnerships. So, and it hasn't been there. So I feel like this is a nice energy for you guys to fix things. I feel like you're going to be fixing. If you want it. I'm getting a very split energy here, I have to tell you. because there's disappointment wrapped up in this. There's frustration and disappointment for you. So it depends on where you're at. Well, great. Only time will tell. Well, that doesn't help. All right. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. And remember, love is the greatest healer. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Yeah. All right. So it looks like something's going to be a rough go initially, but it does look like things are going to end up looking better for you. So I don't know. Let's see what ends up happening. It's only for a very brief period in February. Let's see what we get next time. That for now is what I have. Thank you so much for joining me, Virgo. You guys take care. Bye-bye.